afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Walnut Lodge's Foundations Intensive. This is our second 4-week intensive, and this is the third week. This is the last day of the third week. So today's class is going to be a little kick back. We're going to do a lot more stretching, and part of that is because my body's pretty tired. So I'm thinking that, you guys might be tired too. And if you're not, then this will just be, a nice stretch. It's not like we're not going to do anything, but I'm going to just focus a little bit more on releasing things. We're going to start off, though, with a new thing that I've been working on, and you're going to need a block. So you'll also need a strap, and we probably will need a bolster at the end. I'm not really sure about the bolster yet, but I'm kind of thinking that we'll need that. So I'm going to move that, and we're not going to need this strap right away. So this is a variation, this new thing is a variation on my therapeutic movement series on the block. So, what we're trying to do there is we're trying to systematically, through the position of the block going up from the sacrum to the spine, we're trying to just stretch the spine. Today we're going to kind of do the same thing, but we're going to add abdominals to it. So it's mainly going to be a stretch, a spine stretch, and we'll see how it goes, because then we're going to go into the regular warm-up, maybe without all of the arm work. Because I know that arms are sore. I got some emails talking about, sore arms. And, we have been doing a lot. It's a lot of work. And this 4-week series, I did not do an easy day. I did that a couple times, maybe the second and the last week in the first quarter. So we've been just working pretty steady. All right, so I'm taking my Polar Tech off because, when it goes from 50 to snowing, it was snowing in Youngstown today when I was over at YSU. So, your body goes, it has a hard time trying to adapt to those big swings. So that's one reason why you kind of get tired. All right, so we're going to start with our block is always on this position. We're going to start with it right up against our sacrum. So you're going to put it right here, lumbar sacral junction, right? Some of you might need something underneath your head. So we just start off really with just laying back on this block, relaxing over. See, I'm a little stiff. So lay back. If you need something under your head, put it there. Keep your butt on the ground. Now, it's nice to start like this because you can really see, where you're sore. So just breathe big into your rib cage. And then just start letting things go. Then take your hands, put them behind your head, pull your pubic bone towards your spine, and pull yourself up into basically a crunch. All right, so you're taking your low back, you're taking your sacrum, and you're trying to push the sacrum onto the ground. So you can't really do it here, but you can still get that action. So we're going to inhale here, and then exhale, pull the ribs down, pull the elbows. So it's basically, an upper body crunch. But what I'm really trying to do is I'm really trying to take my pubic bone and pull it into my spine, which is going to press the sacrum down to the ground. So we're going to do about 10 of these. So inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale, let yourself go back. Not all the way today. Exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Trying to get that sacrum down. Inhale, feel this whole line go. Exhale, down and in, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Stay here. Now wiggle yourself forward until you feel that edge just right above your waist, the bottom edge. The top edge is kind of hitting the very lower tips of my shoulder blades, and then just lay back. Breathe. Now, here when this block gets up higher, it's harder to get your head on the ground. Some people don't like the head tilting back, so make sure you have a pillow. Maybe you could put your bolster there. I just like the release back. Feels good. And then breathe the rib cage up here. You can feel the muscles on the block pushing into the block because they contract to push the rib cage up to the ceiling. Couple more breaths here. Take your hands, put them behind your head, pull the jaw back into the throat. Just nice and easy, come up. All right, now we're going to do one other thing here. You're going to flex your ankles and you're going to kind of dig your heels into the ground. And as we exhale and pull our lower stomach in and try to get that sacrum on the ground, I want you to dig your heels and try to pull your sit bones towards your legs. So we're going to do one exhale, pull. Hold that contraction. Feel that low back going onto the ground. Dig the heels a little bit. Now see if you can scoot your sit bones just a little closer to your feet. So that's going to help lengthen out that back a little bit more. So every time you pull, you can kind of dig and reach, or you don't have to do it every time. Just maybe at the beginning and the end to see if you got any more length through that low back. So we're going to inhale here and exhale, pull. Inhale, feel the shoulder blades go back onto the block. Exhale, pull. And inhale. Exhale, dig the heels maybe, pull the sit bones. And inhale. Exhale, pull the rib cage down. And inhale. Exhale, pull the sacrum to the ground and inhale. Exhale, pull the sacrum to the ground. Use your heels. Try to feel your sit bones reach to the legs. You feel those hamstrings, because it's the hamstrings, remember, that can tug on the sit bones and pull those sit bones towards your knees like we do in the bridge. Inhale. Couple more. Exhale, pull that sacrum into the ground. And inhale. Last one. Exhale, pull. Now, creep your sit bones a little forward. Slide about 2 inches on the block. Lay down. Now your shoulder blades are definitely on the block. The top of that block is pretty close to the top of your shoulders. My head is relaxed back, but it's not even on the ground. Now just breathe your ribs up. Your hands can do whatever. Now bend your knees, soles of the feet on the ground, hands underneath your head, and pull up. Now, if your feet are on the ground, just about everybody now can get their whole sacrum all the way to the waist on the ground. So you can do this here, and if you haven't been able to get that sacrum flat on the ground, then use your legs in this position. If you have been able to get your sit bones on the ground, or not your sit bones, your low back, sacrum on the ground, then straighten your legs. We're going to do the same thing. We just inhale, exhale, pull the sacrum and the waist to the ground. Inhale, let your ribs go. Exhale, pull. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Reach those sit bones towards your knees. Feel that low back. Inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale, let your face and your chest face towards the ceiling, so you're kind of laying flat. Now you're not going to move your torso into that curl. All you're going to do is inhale, exhale, pull the waist down, and you'll feel your ribs push your chest a little bit up to the ceiling. So inhale, exhale, reach the ribs straight up. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. So we're accessing the obliques a little bit more. Exhale, pull, and you feel that stretch in your back. Exhale, pull from the lower edge of the block down to your waist. Inhale, pull. Exhale, up. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull. Feel the sit bones reach to the heels. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. Just one more. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. Let the head go back. And then roll off of the block. Move the block. Soles of the feet flat on the ground. And then just feel your spine. Legs straight, feel your spine. So usually when I first start a class, I can't, my low back is not on the ground because it's tight through there. So what happens with this in either position, you feel a lot more mobility through the spine. Plus, you know, you've really done quite a bit of work with your abdominals, right? Now just right here, pull your pubic bone up and feel that low back flattening out. You have a lot of nice movement there, all right? Now let's roll ourselves up and come into a kneeling position, right? So I'm gonna back here. All right, so this is usually where we start class. So that spine work just kind of, for me, took all the stiffness out of my back. And that's why I wanted to share that with you today, because some days you feel like I'm too sore, I'm too tired, I'm too stiff to do anything. Well, too bad. You still have to do something. But you don't have to do the same work, and it doesn't have to be hard. I mean, I guess you can just be stiff, but why not spend 15 minutes or 10 minutes just loosening that up? The day will be better. All right, so just coming up from there, fingers nice and wide. Walk them back. All right, find that stretch. Reach your shoulders forward. Let yourself kind of fold into that stretch. Just little baby rocks, forward and back. Actually, my wrists don't feel too bad. Now the rock with the fingertips. Press the fingertips into the mat and release. And press and release back forward. And press and release forward. And press, release forward. One more. And press, hold it. Straighten your arms, push forward. And just stay there, letting your hands adjust to that. Yeah, tuck the toes. Sit back. And rotate. One way and the other. Couple breaths. And then come forward, fingers towards you. Spread the fingers wide and sit back. Bend the elbows, press into your hands. Just let that stretch. Now press the base of your knuckles. And release that and rotate. So one of the things that I really notice is that when your spine and your low back are stiff and sore, you know, that is really when you kind of say, oh, I don't want to do anything, you know, I'm old, blah, 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 blah. So if you can do a simple thing to just loosen that all up, then it's like worth remembering that. And sometimes that'll happen, you know, when I start running, or if I go on a really nice long hike or something, you know, what gets sore is that low back. All right, reach your hands forward. Sit back. And now let's just see, you know, how much more motion we have here because of what we just did. Tuck the tail under, lift it up. Yep, feels good. And then inhale, release back. We probably should have done this first to get a before and after. Tuck it under, pick it up, and exhale. Reach it back, and pull it up, and inhale, reach it back. Exhale, tuck it under. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, tuck it under. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, tuck it under. Inhale, reach it back. One more. Exhale, tuck it under. Inhale, reach it back. Slide out. Pull your tailbone. Out you go. Sphinx plank. Sphinx half plank. Push up. Inhale, push your spine up through your shoulder blades. Exhale, drop. Inhale up, shoulders are a little sore. Exhale, drop. Inhale up. Exhale, drop. Inhale up. Exhale, drop. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, pelvis down. Move those elbows forward a bit. All right. And then relax your back. If you get that pinch in that low back, that lumbar sacral junction, really use your sit bones to drive and take that low back to a longer place. All right, so we're going to inhale. Reach your chest forward. Exhale. Push your sit bones. Squeeze your glutes. Lengthen that low back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, pull. Inhale, forward. Breathe with that lower ribs. Exhale, pull. Inhale, lower ribs. Exhale, pull. Just one more. Inhale, lower ribs. Exhale, pull. Now keep pulling back. Elbows stay down, arms stay parallel. Sit bones right over your knees. And then feel the stretch of those armpits. Staying here. So this is sore today on me too. Right in the joint. Feel your hands and your elbows pushing back. Lift up a bit, tuck the toes, dolphin. Just push. Hands, elbows, sit bones. Knees can be slightly bent. Just inhale and then exhale, push away. Feel the opening in the shoulder joint. Couple more. And then bend the knees, come down, reach the arms out long, pull your tailbone, lengthen, half plank. All right, push up. So I say, you know, we do these push-ups, right? And we go down and press up. Elbows back and press up. And down 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 and press up and down. That's 8. 2 more. And down. Press up and down. Press up. Tuck the toes. Just sit back. Feel your arms stretch before we go to that down dog. Breathe. Relax in the shoulder joint. Inhale, lift up, tuck the toes. Press back, down dog. Shift the weight to your right leg. Pull that quad up. And then just push from your fingertips. Going for the calf stretch, breathe. Feel the space in your shoulders. Change, push into that left leg, kneecap up, push both heels, yep, pull your belly up, lower to the plank. All right, push up. Feel your belly. And then if you can, inhale, push up again. Exhale, down, shrug. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Lift up. Push away from your fingers. Bend the knees. And sit back. Couple breaths here. Breathe. Slowly, out you go. Pull the tailbone. Half plank. Sphinx plank. We're going to do the sidearm balance. Not going to hold very long today though. So tuck under. If you want to go to full plank, toes, then push. Hands, elbows, sit bones, heels. Lift the belly up. Now feel that left hip roll. And we go up. Push up from that arm, breathe. Inhale. Exhale, roll center. Other side. Push up. Inhale. Exhale, roll, lift the waist. Knees down. Sit bones back. Pull back. I think I pulled back a little too far. Elbows down. Head down. Just stay there, breathe. Feel that armpit stretch, chest towards the ground. You feel maybe the pinching a little bit in the shoulders. It's less now than in the first round. Lift up, tuck the toes, press back, dolphin, push back, dips, inhale down, exhale back, 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 inhale down, just two more, inhale down, exhale back, last one, inhale down, exhale back, knees down, sit back, reach the arms forward, inhale, lift up, exhale, press back, down dog, breathe there. Pull your tailbone towards your face, lower to the plank, side arm balance, left arm up, push, breathe. Push. Big inhale. Exhale, roll. Other side. Push. Inhale, roll. Press, down dog, knees down, sit, couple breaths, right? So here you thought we were going to just be easy, right? And now all that arm work is done. I mean, I love and hate it at the same time, right? It's difficult, you need it. Anything to get you onto your mat. So if you're sore and tired, just sit on your mat and see what you can do. You know, once my spine got nice and loose, everything was okay. But I'm still going to continue with just some pretty deep, hip and knee stretches. So we're going to come back into that table and we're going to pull our left knee forward. So I'm parallel. I'm going to squash down and I'm just going to rock back and forth this way. I'm going to go just loosening that hip joint up. Now, people that can't do this, can't lay on your knee. Gloria, I'm talking to you. There's other people out there. Roll onto your back. And then just move the knee. So your knee might not be bent the whole way. Just work the hip, all right? What's the difference? Here, the weight of your body can push you down into more intense stretches, but if your knee can't take that, if you lay on your back, what you can do though is get this hip motion. So we're just going side to side, right? You want to be able to, let that left hip touch, staying over your leg. So I'm just kind of rocking and rolling at my own timing. Just one more outside. And then when you come to the inside this time, roll so that you can put your right thigh down and you're up on your elbows, all right? And then relax your shoulders, your right shoulder. Most of the weight will be on that right shoulder. And just kind of look back to your left. And then breathe into that right side. Breathe into that shoulder. So you can feel a little bit of serratus stretch, a little bit of the shoulder stretch. It's not a big deal. It just feels good. And then if that right side is tight, you might feel the pull down into your hip. All right, now we're gonna push back up and then let that left sit bone come down, all right? And then we're just gonna lay on this thigh. So I'm gonna move my armpit kind of over my knee and I'm just gonna hang here. You can let your head hang. But I'm literally just laying my ribs down on my thigh. It just feels good. It's a very deep hip flexion. And now we're gonna come back to center. Put that right thigh down, but this time open that left knee. So it's stretching straight out to the side. My foot is underneath my right thigh. So if I was laying on my back, I'm just taking my leg as far to the side as I can. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna take your hip and push it back and release. Take your sit bone, try to reach it to your calf and pull, or to your foot. So I'm just taking this hip and going back and up and back and up. So if I was on my back, I'd be pulling my knee up to my shoulder and releasing, because the knee is kind of coming up, but because it's, grounded, it's not going to come up very much. Just a couple of those. All right, now you're gonna straighten this leg. All right, and then you're gonna take your chest flat. All right, so this is stretching the inner thigh on that left leg. So if I'm laying on my back, I'm just opening this leg to the side. Now your left hip is up off the ground a little bit. Maybe some of your left hips are down almost on the ground. So what we're going to do here is we're going to lift the hip up and roll it down. So actually you're going to try to roll your thigh back and you're going to roll your thigh down. So I'm going to take my leg and my sit bone and reach it towards the right foot, and then I'm going to release it. So we're rolling out and rolling in. out, in. Just a couple more times. Just feel that movement in your hip socket, right? And then you're just going to stay here and let that inner thigh release. So we want to stay as flat as possible. So this is like the Ashtanga stretch to the side. If you want to creep this foot up a little bit more, go ahead. And we're going to stay here a minute, just breathe. Couple more breaths. Now to come out of this, we're going to roll onto our right side. Just pull that socket back, right? And then release it down. And then roll back to center. Push yourself back. Just sitting, and then we're going to do just that whole thing to release the socket. It's just nice to come back because now that left hip has so much more freedom of movement in it. All right, take that right knee down. So our chest is on our thigh, our shin is parallel. This is not a pigeon stretch. We're just doing deep hip flexion. So you're gonna just roll it out and in. You want to stay as relaxed as you can. You can see my thighs, almost on the ground, not quite. And then my hip is almost on the ground, not quite. If you just rock and roll, you'll get there. What I'm focusing on is trying to just relax in my hip socket and my chest as I make that roll from in to out. Just one more roll outside of the hip to inside. This time, make sure you put your whole thigh down. Elbows are down. Relax that left shoulder. Look to your right. You feel that just a little bit of a lateral curve in that upper back. So you're going to breathe up into the shoulder and into the ribs on that left side. Just a nice, easy release. I call this the salamander. I keep pushing on the exhale. You can just get a little bit more space in that waist. But keep it sinking. And then we just come back center, lift yourself up. And we're gonna roll that right sit bone down, armpit or shoulder on that leg, just hanging, laying in that deep hip flexion on that right thigh, right? There it is. Feels good. Yeah, it didn't feel, I mean, my left hip is a lot tighter than my right hip. So, I just get here and I'm good. That left hip, I had to stay there a little bit to get it to, a complete release. If you let go of your head, you can feel, my ear's right on my shoulder. If you let go of that, you can feel the pull of the neck all the way into that upper back. Okay, so we're going to release this by rolling forward, right? Coming back. Now take that right leg to the side. All right, I did left leg so you could see it a little bit better. All right, so my foot is underneath my thigh, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sit bone and I'm going to push it back and release. Pull it back to my left foot and release. Just feeling that joint move. Just a couple more. This is kind of a complex stretch through the pelvis. So it's just for loosening. We're just like going through some nice range of motion to just let tired muscles go. All right, this time, let your leg come down, scoot that right leg out, and then we're going to creep it out to the side. And then, like I said, we're laying flat. And you're kind of checking out how close is that right hip socket to the ground. You feel the inner thigh on that right side. So from the inside of the knee to your pubic bone. And then we're just going to do a couple rolls in and out. So we're going to take that thigh and the knee and roll it to the ground. And then try to lift the knee up to the ceiling. Roll it down, lift it up. Roll it down, lift it up. Couple more. Down, lift it up. Down, lift it up, release. And then we're just going to stay here. Breathe. Creep that leg up, higher if you want. Now to come out of this, just roll onto your left side and let that leg come all the way down. And then we're going to roll back to our right side. Elbow down. Stack yourself. All right, so we kind of got a little bit of that rib line released with the salamander. Come up onto your arm, relax your shoulder, get yourself exactly side, drop that right hip down. Breathe into those ribs on the right side. You know, so we haven't been here for a while, right? I like to stretch this line out a lot before we do all that side work, because then we have to kind of knit that together. Now press down into that arm and push your shoulder up, and then just feel that stretch go to the hip, right above the hip crest into the waist. Keep pushing up. Don't let your butt roll back. And then just release that down to the elbow, come onto your stomach, right to the other side. Come up onto your arm. Make sure you're not rolling back. Stack yourself, relax that shoulder at first, and then breathe into the lower ribs. And then push down into that arm and come up as high as you can. Feel that stretch above that hip crest into the waist. And then this time we're just going to roll to our sit bones, all right? And then we're going to be on to our last thing today. All right, so you're going to need your bolster and your strap. I've decided we're going to do it on the bolster. All right, so this is just going to be a nice long hamstring stretch. So we're going to make a big loop with our strap. If you have a loop, do this. If you don't have one, you can just hold on with your hands. What's the benefit of the loop? Well, then you don't have to hold on with your arms. That's the only benefit. All right, so I'm going to make a nice big loop. I'm going to put this underneath my armpit. I'm going to loop it over my foot. And then I'm going to stretch it and see if that's a good distance. Because you want to have a nice stretch, but you don't want to cry. Right? All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to roll over your bolster and you're going to put your sacrum on the bolster. All right, so your waist is dropping off of the bolster to the back. And then you're going to straighten that right leg. Now, my hip flexor on my left side is super tight today. So I'm having a hard time just even getting my foot to the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flex, straighten my left leg, flex my ankle, and push out that heel. And if you do that, you'll feel a stretch in the front of your hip flexor, or the front of your hip rather, and you'll feel that hip flexor stretch. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you just want to lay here, then just bend your knee, push out that right leg. You know, make sure you have a distance where it's on a stretch. You got to keep your knees straight. And we are just going to relax here, kind of giving into that stretch. Now bend that right leg, pull it in, and then just change legs. Stretch that left leg to straight. And breathe. And then slowly bend that left leg. And then move your bolster. Put it underneath your calves. Lay down on your back nice and flat. And then just rest here for a minute. Big inhale. Exhale, roll to your right side and press yourself up. All right, everybody. That's it for today. And that's it for week 3. Enjoy yourself. Thank you for your support. And I will see you next week. Namaste.